Let me tell you a little bit about myself so you have a little bit of an understanding about where I'm coming from with this particular presentation and in my approach to experiential learning. I've spent about 30 years in law enforcement. I retired at the end of 2012, and I worked with within the sixth largest municipal law enforcement agency in the state of Wisconsin, the city of West Allis. They had about 157 sworn, or pardon me, 132 sworn individuals and about 25 to 30 full and part-time non-sworn individuals as support staff. I was hired back in 1983. Times back then were much different. Absolutely no computers, typewriters, carbon paper, whiteout, pink out, buff out, blue out, all those different kinds of things. I always chuckle when I talk to new police recruits. Has anybody ever used carbon paper? And less than 5 out of classes of about 30 even know what it is or have seen it. So times are much different. The technology in the squad cars are much different. There were no computers in squads back in 1983 to where now there's 3 computers and 2 of them have GPS capabilities. So it's basically a home office for a lot of frontline officers within our organization. I led our agency to accredited status, state accredited status, which basically means that we had to have policies and procedures in place, about 250 of them that address all kinds of different issues that impact the community, the organization, and the individual. It took about a 3-year process to do that. And since that particular point in time, we've been reaccredited twice since our original accreditation. I am a member of the Wisconsin State Accrediting Board, and I've taken part in rewriting the last 2 editions of the statewide standards. As you can imagine, law enforcement is a very fluid type of profession. Lots of changes are enacted due to all kinds of different case law. So we need to be, in some cases, reactive, in a lot of cases, proactive in developing policies and standards for organizations. Then in addition to that, actually my first profession, even before becoming a police officer, was that I was a registered nurse and spent early part of my career as a mental health nurse in one of our local mental health institutions. Later on, about 10 years into my profession in law enforcement, I tapped into being an instructor and an adjunct professor for a couple different universities, local universities, a community college, and a private 4-year institution. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of where I'm coming from, my little bit of educational background. And so let's move on and let's talk a little bit about the organization that I work for.